Hi, you guys. So, I wanted to briefly talk about love and love in a sense that probably isn't talked about in the way that the world does, because some people think that if you love someone or if you are that good old faithful Christian love, you allow someone to walk all over you every time. And I got to thinking about it. And the only time I remember Jesus allowing anybody to put their hands on him is when he was surrendering to the cross. So people love to say to turn the other cheek, but those are people who are manipulative. People love to say you got to forgive. Jesus said forgive 7 times 70, but those are people who are manipulative. People who takes God's grace for his weakness. They use it over and over and over and over again instead of acting in self-awareness and changing their own behaviors or repenting and coming back to God with a contrite heart. And I was thinking about things earlier. Some person said something very ignorant about the elites trying to bring in the second coming of Jesus, and just because they're doing it doesn't mean God is not behind it. Just because God allows something does not mean that he's behind such foolishness. And the only thing that moves God is a contrite heart. Sorry, I had to go on that tangent. Now, back to the commandments, the 2 commandments that Jesus said is above all others, and that is to love God with all your heart, with all your mind, with all your soul, and then to love people. But what he meant by love, when you look that up, and in the Greek text of that, and you go look it up in Aramaic if you can find it, but in the Greek text, and that word, when I look it up in the lexicon, it means agapes. That's what it says, agapes, which comes from the word agape, which is the Greek word of love, to do what's in the benefit of, to act in the will of benefice. So you are benefiting someone. You are doing something that's in their best interest. You're acting in the best interest of that person. When you love God, you're acting in the best interest of God. You're acting as in the best interest of him when you're his ambassador here on earth. But when it comes to people, first off, if you don't know how to act in the best interest of yourself, you're not going to know how to act in the best interest of others. So that's firstly, you need to look and see how people treat themselves and how they talk to themselves. Now, on the other hand, I give people more grace than I give myself, because I know I am different. I am peculiar. I am strange. I am weird. And baby, I enjoy every minute of me. But some people can't. Some people, they don't mind a little bit of lie here or there. They don't mind a white lie. Baby, I mind. And you get on my nerves if you do it too much. I'm going to block you. When I act in the best benefits of someone else, I'm acting in the best benefit of myself as well. And those things go into tandem together, like love others as you love yourself. Well, if I'm acting in the best benefit of myself, I'm not going to sit up here and eat lies. That is of the enemy. Jesus says, I am the truth, the way, and the life. So, baby, opposite of the truth is a lie. You loving the devil. I'm not going to be sitting around eating of that. I'm going to feed the spirit. My flesh is already worldly enough. I don't need to feed it. It already is battle enough. As Paul said, things that I want to do, I don't. That's because the flesh. I got to knock on that grace. And grace isn't just what God gives us as far as like in forgiveness and able to behave a better way. It's actually like this supernatural ability to do what God has called you to do, which is tell the truth, which is to love others, which is to love yourself. But some people won't knock and tap into that. Some people use their bad and poor behaviors as an excuse. So I am acting in my best interest and in yours as well when I walk away from you, when I exit you out my life, when I say, please stop doing this over and over again. And I done gave you more than 2 strikes, 3 strikes. I done gave you 5, the number of grace, and you want to keep on. That's the number of pillars that's around the temple. So that's why they say it's the number of grace in the New Testament. Go look it up. Anyways, my point is, if I've given you more than ample opportunity to correct your behavior, you're not doing what's in the best interest of me. So why should I sit around and let you continue to abuse me and hit me over and over again? As I stated, Jesus did not allow that. And many times the Pharisees, Sadducees was looking to put their hands on him and put him in jail or to stone him and stuff, baby. Not until it's time. Not until it's my time. When God, I posted this on somebody's TikTok because we were stating about apostles Paul and Peter and how they were able to be crucified. Like they stayed there to be crucified. That's because God gives you the supernatural ability, his grace, to endure persecution. But that's because it's your time and it's his will. It is not God's will for you to be beat up without, let's see, what's the right word? It coming to a an end, an expected end, a goodness end. Now, we sometimes have an idea of what goodness is, and our goodness may be different from what God's goodness is. Because, like, Jesus cried blood, he had to go to the cross, he knew it was coming, and he knew that wasn't really a good end. Like, he knew it was a good end spiritually, but physically, he was on the cross and he said, Eli, Eli, why have you forsaken me? Father, Father, why have you forgotten about me? So even in crucifixion, it don't feel good, but not until it's time for God to crucify that flesh, to crucify, either spiritually, definitely not physically. Don't allow nobody to sit up here and tell you it's okay to manipulate you, to physically harm you, to lie to you or anything like that, baby. That is not of God. That is of the devil. That is a Jezebel spirit, and we're going to rebuke it in the name of the blood of Jesus. Learn how to love, which means do the what's in the best benefit of yourself and others. And sometimes that takes you walking away from someone to know how to love. That's love, baby. When you walk away because you don't want them to harm you and you don't want to harm them, that's love. As Jesus said, if they don't accept you, dust your feet off and keep it moving. Don't accept no toxicity. Bye now.